Scooch. I think that works. What's up, everybody? We're printing some labels today. Some really exciting stuff. I don't know how much value this live is actually going to create, but I guess if you ask the right questions, there will be value. Or just enjoy some chill lo-fi music over the sound of me tapping a screen. So I actually don't know what these weigh. I should probably grab a box. Or just enjoy some yeah, let's turn off that volume. Grab a box. Seven ounces. What is that? Just 0.5 pounds, basically. Yep, we're gonna ride with that. Yeah, so basically we're just boxing stuff up. Well, not exactly. We're pre-labeling things. So I've got most of my shiny treasures coming tomorrow, actually. So just to speed things along, sometimes what I do is I print the labels beforehand. Labels. And that way when the stuff does come in, I can just throw it in a box, call it a day. So that's what we're doing today. We're making boxes and printing labels. And hopefully the stuff that I'm printing the labels for actually comes in. So that'd be pretty awkward if it didn't. Yeah, there's 11 people in the chat. Hello, thanks for being here. I don't know what you're doing here. You should be probably sleeping. But if you're here, thanks for being here. Let's see. Nick, we just printed your label. Nick from Depew, New York. Thank you for the order. We're gonna be these are all shiny treasures labels. I think we're doing wave, what is this? This will be wave 2 and wave 3, which is pretty good because I think we're running really early, actually. I'm pretty sure that we quoted wave 2 and 3 for like 3 or 4 days from now. So yeah, actually we're running like super early, which is exactly where I want to be. So I feel much less stressed out when we're running early. So there we go. Taylor Brown recently became a follower to your channel. You've been a big help with me in my own business. Hey, that's what's up. Thanks, Taylor Brown. I appreciate you. You got Joseph. Just finished your 5 lessons video. Hell yeah. Thank you for the watch. I appreciate it. YouTube's been going good lately. I gotta say, it's kind of, I don't know how to make a box. It's kind of popping off, so thank y'all. Evie and Sarah, I'm a night owl. Yeah, same. I stay up till like 4 or 5 a.m. pretty much every night. Sometimes to work because like, ooh, I'm super busy, but I mean, I was doing this way before I started a business. Just up all night, sleep till noon. Not a bad life. So we've got 850 boxes to pre-label today. Not 850 orders. I guess I should specify that. So a lot of people bought more than one Shiny Treasures box. But altogether, we sold like 1,200 Shiny Treasures, which is madness. I don't understand. PSA Pikachu, how do I navigate through the normal low price of the modern sealed English box? Oh my god, that is a good question. It's not really a good time to get into modern English, unless you have like a distributor, and even if you have a distributor, good luck making any money. I know it sounds super Debbie Downer vibes, but like, I don't make any money on sealed English right now. Really, I mean, we'll get booster boxes for like $96 from the distro. That's an official distro. And what I sell them for like $110. I mean, that's not after fees and you know, shipping. The boxes are like $1 a piece. You really don't make any money. So if you're trying to make money off sealed English, unless it's a rip and ship, because you can charge a bit of a premium on rip and ships. But yeah, if you're just trying to make money, like, it's not a good time. And it is a good time to buy sealed English. Like if you're an investor or you just want to take advantage of the market now and then hopefully make money in the future. English, I mean, it's cheap as hell. So if you got some money laying around, buy it now, wait a bit, and you'll probably make money. But as far as, you know, buying it, selling it a day or two later, it's horrible. I'm glad we're diversified. We do Japanese, Korean, and English. So if one language sucks, hopefully the other ones are better. But yeah, that's the theory, you know. I don't know how stores are sticking around with English the way it is. I think it's nutty. What time do you wake up? It depends. Like tomorrow I got to wake up at 9 a.m. Because I got one of my employees coming in, and I think it's kind of weird to be sleeping upstairs while my employees work. I mean, I guess that's, you could argue, kind of the point of having an employee, but it's just goofy since like it's all in my house. So I'll wake up at 9. I'll probably stay up till 5 or 6, get like 3 hours of sleep. Which isn't untypical. Like that's not rare. I take a nap on the couch for like 2 hours if I get like a 3 hours of sleep. But yeah, I definitely don't have like what you'd call a conventional sleep schedule. But who does that runs a business or has kids or you know whatever? Everyone's weird. Taylor Brown, how did you know when you were ready to make and manage your own website and move away from me? I never sold on eBay, actually, or TCG Player. I don't even have a TCG Player account. That's not entirely. I sold on eBay full time with like other stuff back in the day, like just random odds and ends from garage sales. But as far as like Pokemon stuff, just never really did it. I always had my own website. As far as how did I know I wanted to do Pokemon full time, I kept my real estate job for like 6, 7, 8 months. And once I started making like 3 times more than real estate paid, I decided it was time to quit. Honestly, I wouldn't suggest doing what I did as quickly as I did. I think that was a bit risky. I mean, the only reason I did it is I knew that I could go back to real estate fairly easily. It wasn't like I gave up something I couldn't go back to. So, I mean, depending on your situation, I guess you do you, but it was such a, what do they call it, a bull market that the fact that I was like, screw it, I'll be fine. Probably not advisable. Just really depends on your job. 21 night owls, 26 now. That's the hard part. I got used to it and I carry, but you expand to different areas to make it work. Yeah, I mean, I would expand for sure if you can. It's just one of those things where it's like you got to be ready for all the markets, and I think the English market will pick up in 2024. I really do. But right now, it's just if you're not diversifying, you better have a day job, I guess. But you know, now if you do have a day job and you have a way to make a living without Pokemon, you know, now you could argue is a great time to just build your customer list, even if you're only making a couple bucks a box, which is all you're gonna make. It's a good time to just get your name out there, make content for sure. Make content. You guys are all here because I made content, and now you know who I am. And a lot of y'all are willing to pay an extra $4, $5, $6 compared to TCG Player because you know me. And I think that's the play I would make right now is just keep your day job, diversify and make money on Japan or Korean card, whatever, and just, you know, basically build your audience now. And then when the market does get to a point where it's profitable, then you can, you know, what jab, 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 left hook or whatever. Then you can start making money, ideally. But yeah, right now it's a nutty, nutty time. Distro's been dumping sets for 92 apiece. Yep, that's about right. Japanese 151B selling good in Japan. Price ain't come down, but I love it. Yeah, Japanese 151 got cray. I don't even buy them anymore. I've got some left over, but right now, the price I'm paying, if I was ordering them, would be like $150. And I'm just like, that's stupid. Like I'm not about Japanese 151 right now. Colbus. Hi, Pokey. What's up, Colbus? How you doing? MRV. In general, how many orders do you get per day? it's kind of a hard to answer question because at any given time there's like a bunch of pre-orders happening. Like right now, we've got pre-orders for Paldean Fates. So if you include like, I don't even know what. Okay, so on average we sell between 9 and 13,000 per day. So, and our average order is $260. So I guess do the math. I don't know how many orders it is because again, I only like have to pack so many. Like right now, most of our orders are pre-orders for Paldean Fates, so I don't really worry about those. I would guess like 40 to 50, but I just divide like 10,000 by 260, and that'll get you like a relatively accurate number. I should know this, but at some point you just kind of stop keeping track, not because like you get cocky, but just because you skip so many orders. Like these Shiny Treasures orders are from the freaking 16th of November, so up until now I skipped them. That's kind of the reason I don't know. Did he just say he was 26 years old? I don't know when you would have heard that, Cameron. I'm 30, so I don't know if that's more or less than I look. Do I look 30? I feel young, but like I feel like all old people feel young, so I'm 30. I'm in April 93. Wish I was 26. I'd have 4 extra years to get my crap together. I'm not cool anymore. I get worried about carrying Japanese because I would have to. Yeah, I mean, the whole over MSRP thing. Well, right now, Japanese is a lot better because it's not as obnoxiously overpriced as it was, like, even 6 months ago. The way I see it, I don't really get a lot of hate for it, honestly, because I'm just like, you know what? What's the alternative? Do you want to pay $20 shipping from Japan and then pay import fees? Because if you do, and then wait an extra 5 to 7 days compared to if you buy from me, if you do, like, that's great. Like, I recommend people do that, but for convenience and for a guarantee it's legit, if you're an American, I think you could get away with it pretty easily, personally. Nice biceps. Thank you, Andrew Kwan. In all fairness, they got a little pump to them because we just got back from Westo Fitness. If you guys are Omaha people, it's a gym real close to my house, which is nice because I hate driving. I'm terrified of driving, so the gym's like 2 miles away, and it's been convenient. So yeah, I'm always on the shirt because I usually just get back and I have like 7 of these shirts. Highly recommend. You want convenience in the morning, you buy like 20 of the same exact shirt, and then you don't have to think. I think it helps that I just work out of my basement. I never leave the house. I don't really have anyone to impress except you people, so. Oh, gotta put a pack in there. Yeah, so if you guys are just coming in, what we're doing right now is pre-printing labels for Shiny Treasures. A lot of my Shiny Treasures boxes arrive tomorrow in the morning. So I've got 800, I got like 25 cases. I think that's 800 boxes-ish. 600, whatever 25 times 20 is. I've got 25 cases coming tomorrow. So I'm basically just printing all the labels and pre-making the boxes now so that tomorrow I can just kind of assembly line this crap and get it out as fast as possible. The mail truck comes at noon every day. So if I can get a bunch of these done by noon, I will be happy. We'll see. We'll see. Legend of Luke, hey, thank you so much. I appreciate you watching and always supporting us. Legend of Luke's the man. Appreciate your videos. Adrian Mack, thank you. I appreciate you too. Cheesy Chuckles, do you try to run on a certain profit margin or is it worth? It just depends on the set. So if it's, what am I doing? If it's something that's popular that I can also get a lot of, I tend to have my margins lower because like I can pump out volume. And if it's something like less popular that I also can't get very many of, the margins go up. For example, the English Classic box, I was only allocated 17 of them. So like my margins were really high because I'm like, well, why lower the price? I'm gonna sell 17 in a freaking day. But something like Shiny Treasures, where I sold 1,200 boxes, my margin could be a lot lower because I'm like, I can just get more. And that's a lot of it. It's like, can I get more? Because if it's something like, well, like, okay, when Shiny Treasure starts drying up on the market, there's no sense for me selling it at a low price. Because if I go back to Japan and I'm like, yo, I need a refill, if it's $10 more, then that was stupid for me to fire sell them. So it depends. English stuff, obviously the margins are complete ass because they kind of have to be. I either can, you know, match everyone else's price, which for the most part I do, and not make jack, or I can hike the price way up, make a lot of money per box, but only sell a handful of boxes a week, and that's not ideal either. So hard to know. I live in Japan and I count my blessings for not only being able to... Yeah. Yeah, Ryan, those are definitely two good things about living in Japan right now. Shopify gave me a credit line of 20K, and I know it's a great tool to expand inventory, but I'm afraid of debt because... So, I've never been, like, in debt. I mean, I guess it depends on your definition of debt. Like, at any given time, I have, like, $50,000 of credit card debt, but I pay it off every month. Like I never go a month in debt. I think it's a great tool. I've made several videos that credit card debt's essentially a free loan, interest-free loan, as long as you pay it off. So my rule has always been, whatever debt I incur on a credit card, if I can pay it back in cash, I'm good with it. So if something happened, do I have the cash to pay off that credit card right now? And then, of course, you could consider pre-orders technically debt, because I'm like, hey, you know, pre-order Shiny Treasures, it comes out next week, give me $100. You could argue that technically I owe the customer $100 of value. But as far as like taking a fat loan, I've never done that, and I don't recommend doing it. It seems like unnecessary risk. I'd rather start small and build up, which is what I did. Now, hindsight's 2020. If I would have took on an ass load of debt and bought a ton of Shiny Star V back when we started, when that was a new set, yeah, you could argue that I'd grow a lot faster, but if that would have went wrong, then I would have been bankrupt, potentially. So, you know, hindsight's 2020. I'm overall pretty risk averse, though. So that's kind of where I'm at. What else do we got? Nate Swift, ever tried investing in a home gym? There's no room. There's no room in my gym, or in my basement. But I find myself only able to work out elsewhere. Like, I had, in my old house, I had like some gym equipment. I need to like go somewhere to work out, or I just won't do it. I always joked that anyone that has a home gym, their gym equipment is just a place to like hang coats and throw stuff. So I'm not really a big proponent for that personally, just because I'm not responsible enough to use it. Is the Japanese collector series something you plan to keep, or can I go for a little bit? The Japanese, yeah, we'll keep restocking that. There's really no rush at all. Plenty of those. Heavy and Sarah. Civic Minim, thanks for the inspiration. You're very welcome. Thanks for watching the videos. I appreciate you. You and everyone else has really blown up the channel, so thank you. It was a Pokemon. I like it. Last tax video was super useful. Thanks for the content. Yo, of course. Tax stuff's scary, and I'm definitely not an expert, but I feel like I know enough to kind of give you guys a good start on what to keep track of. So, yeah, you're very welcome. Thanks for watching it. I'm glad it was hopefully helpful. What else do we got? Do you think the business, Jordan says, do you think the business would be possible if you had kids, or what do you have? I think I had a huge advantage starting the business without kids. Like, I have 2 dogs, and I know you parents of human are gonna cringe, but what I'm going to say is it's going to make you feel better. I have 2 dogs, and they're exhausting. They're extremely needy. And I'm guessing kids are probably 20 to 30x harder than needy dogs. I'm just assuming. So yeah, I think I'd be at a huge disadvantage. I think what would allow me to continue though is I don't need a lot of sleep. I have mania, so like I don't need more than 3 hours of sleep a night. And so I have a lot more hours than normal people. I'll probably die earlier because of my habits. But I do have a lot more hours, and as far as kids keeping you up all night or waking, you know, you always see on TV like, your turn, honey, and then they get out of bed, and well, I'm already up all night, and by the time I go to bed, sometimes Andrea's waking up, so that's never been a concern of mine. I think that taking care of the kid would be exhausting, but I'm always up, so yeah, it would slow me down, but that's kind of what I'm prepping for. I've been hiring part-time people. My cousin, my brother-in-law kind of works for me here and there. Another dude I'm hiring part-time. I'm kind of prepping because within a year we'll probably have a kid. That's kind of the plan. And so I'm slowly kind of building a little bit of an empire where I can be upstairs with the kid, and then I can have someone downstairs working. So long-term goals. Andrew Kwan on the Japanese Pokemon TCG says for sale. How does your supplier get around that? I have no idea. I'm sure they're doing something against Pokemon's terms of service. I'm sure they can get in a lot of trouble. As far as how they do it, I don't know, but I think they're probably taking on a great risk. I'm not worried about it. They're not. I mean, Pokemon's not going to go after me, but they're definitely going against Pokemon's wishes. I'm not going to lie and say otherwise. So hopefully they don't get caught, because I mean, I have 5 different suppliers. I use like 3 regularly. So that's another thing, like diversifying is good about. Diversify your inventory, but also diversify your sources, because if one of them gets hit by a bus, or if Pokemon sends a bus to hit someone, like, you want to have someone else to get it from. So, you know, that's the honest answer. Long Yang. Love your content with selling only on eBay, but you inspired me to do better, so I'm on Whatnot as well. Hey, Long Yang, what's up? Thank you. I'm glad to hear you're taking on Whatnot. I don't stream on there, but a lot of great people do, so good luck. Keep killing it. I'm trying to multitask. I'm Metal. Metal, what's up? Thanks for the content, man. You're welcome. Thanks for watching. We got Chris P. Hey, you gave tips on how to find Japanese suppliers, and I used them and found some. Do you have any tips on how to get supply for Korean displays? What's up? I'm glad my advice worked. Thank you for watching. Korean's the same way. Koreans are a little harder to find because the Korean products aren't as popular as Japanese. It's harder to just search on Instagram for Korean cards. They're just not as prevalent. But it's the same process. I mean, it's not any different. It took a lot more research, and I don't think most Koreans know that there's such a market for like Asian cards in America. The Japanese folks definitely know because it's so huge, but a lot of Korean Pokemon people, I think they'd be pretty surprised at how nutty us Americans are for Asian cards. So same process, it just takes a lot longer. Thanks to you, I've been inspired to start doing Whatnot. Pokemart Master, thank you. I'm glad to hear it. How much did your supplier charge you for your inventory? I try to make between 11 and 20% on margin, just depending on the set. I was saying earlier that if I can get a bunch regularly and they're quick sellers, I'll be on the lower end of that spectrum. And if it's something more expensive or challenging to get, I'll be at the higher end of that spectrum. So do the math, I guess. Wow, geez, Civic's been around since Vice. Damn, you're an OG. That was like 2.5, that was like 2+ years ago. Damn. TikTok said customers were getting upset about products and Yeah, I hate TikTok. I hope that whole thing burns to the ground. I like it for content. I was always an advocate for making TikToks. But the whole TikTok shop, I think it's horrible for the hobby and market as a whole. Just my 2 cents. I have a whole video about it, so yeah, kind of based, but what are you gonna do? Ryan, the distributor's is moving product at a higher price point and limited to 5 packs. Yeah. Cheesy Chuckles, how did you originally drive traffic to your websites? Ironically, TikTok. I never, for the first, I think we sold $100,000 worth of Japanese cards before we even paid a cent in advertising. A lot of folks will tell you, oh, you gotta pay for ads. But you really don't, as long as you have like a good personality and somewhat good skills in social media. I mean, if you watch, well, hell, if you watch most of my modern videos, I've been trying a little harder. Like, I think my content's gotten a little bit higher quality, but I never did anything fancy. I mean, selfie camera with my phone up in the air, no rehearsing, no real editing. I just basically made videos. I did like a third of my videos like market updates, like I'd read pokebeach.com. I'd talk about, hey, there's a new set coming out, and then a third of my videos were like Pokemon business facts, like the stuff I make now, like how to do taxes and blah blah blah. And then a third of my videos were like, hey, I sell this, I have this on sale, check this out, you know, more like advertising type things. But as far as paying for ads, I didn't do that for the longest time. And even when I started doing that, just videos on TikTok and Instagram always perform better for me. The number one tip I can give you guys if you're trying to like promote your business via Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, whatever, would be find a way to basically a way to trace your audience. Like that way you know if it's effective. Like for a lot of my YouTube videos, I have like promo codes hidden in them. Like, hey, you know, if you made it this far in the video, use promo code, you know, whatever, for $10 off an order. And that kind of tells me like how effective it is. I mean, it's not going to give you a perfect answer because a lot of people won't buy anyway, but it's a good way to kind of gauge, I suppose. And YouTube's been really good for that lately. I moved to Drip, but YouTube is my man. How did yours? Yeah, Drip, I've heard good things about, I guess. I've never really messed with the whole, like, online, like, that kind of stuff, marketplace stuff. I've always been a fan of just TikTok, kind of, or, Twitch. I had a stream on Twitch, and it was very independent. I didn't have to pay anyone fees. I didn't have to, I owned my customers. I prefer that. But if you're just starting out and you don't have an audience yet, I mean, Drip, whatnot, those are probably the smarter way to go. Probably the only way to go, because, like, if you go onto Twitch raw with no existing customer list, you're not, I mean, no one's going to click on your thing. Mr. Universal Shinies, hello. I took your advice and found Japanese suppliers too, but most of them sell very close to market price, so there's no margin, especially if you have any ideas on how to deal with this. John, yeah, I mean, you just got to keep looking. If you, how should I say this? You got to keep looking. If you're finding that every single person you find is selling pretty damn close to market price, there's a good chance you're just not buying enough. Maybe ask them, hey, if I buy, you know, how many do I need to buy to get price X? That might be helpful to you. I don't even know. Like, if I bought, like, so Shiny Treasures, my first batch of them, I bought 500 boxes for batch number 1. I don't know how much they would have charged if I only bought 10 boxes. I'm assuming a lot more. I think Japan kind of runs on bulk too. Because if you think about it, to send a package from Japan to America that's like this big, it costs, I don't know, 25 bucks. I have no idea. But, and you only got 10 booster boxes in there. But for a box this big, you can fit 30 booster boxes, and it's only an extra $5 to ship. So, you can imagine that they're very motivated to sell in bulk. So you might just not be offering to buy enough of them. That's possible. But you should absolutely be able to find a supplier that sells like 15 to 20% below market price. And if you're not seeing that, then you need to find someone else, or ask, hey, if I bought more, what can you do for me? As someone who is probably stick to dealing in singles, do you think sticking to eBay TCG player would be best, or whatnot would be advisable? Acing tennis. I hate singles as far, like, I wouldn't be good at selling them, so take my advice with a grain of salt, but yeah, I mean, realistically, I would think that would be your best way to go. Or like kind of building a little community on Instagram or Discord just to save on those fees. No matter how you sell, whether it's eBay, Facebook, blah, 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 I'm a huge proponent on brand, because if you think about it, none of this stuff's unique. I mean, you can buy Pokemon cards anywhere. So you shouldn't really be chasing money as much as you're chasing brand. So if you do sell on TCG Player, include business cards. Stickers are really, people love stickers. I don't get it. I don't get stickers, but people love stickers. So, go to vistaprint.com or something, make some custom cute stickers, business cards, maybe build a website and entice people to come on via a little card with a promo code or a QR code or something like that. You want to build your brand for sure. I think the platform's important, but I think as long as you're branding yourself, that's more important. I got to get 2 booster packs. Hold on. I'm really liking this pre-made box thing. I think this is a strategy I want to take advantage of more often. I'm going to try to answer every single chat message I get, so if I haven't gotten to you yet, like, just wait, because I plan on answering every single question I get. There's only 63 people here, so it shouldn't be that hard. How does One Piece compare to Pokemon? Thought about checking it out. So, English One Piece, I think they've got like an exclusive with only one distributor or something. So 99% of stores, including mine, cannot get English One Piece. But I've heard it's insane. So if you have access to English One Piece, like, good for you. Like, you're rolling in dough. I obviously sell Japanese One Piece, and it's a huge seller. Not as big as English, but I mean, the margins are awesome on it, and I can get a bunch. Japanese One Piece, that was one of the best risks I had for the business, because for the most part, I've tried to kind of like narrow it down to just Pokemon. I'm getting rid of Weiss Shorts and Yu-Gi-Oh! And whatnot. But One Piece has been nice, so highly recommend looking into it. I gotta run and get something. Detective Pikachu. A little Detective Pikachu card here for this person. Gregory D. Thanks for the order. Order 32960. Nice. Put that in there and print a label for Gregory. What else do we got? I appreciate the content and the candid demeanor. Hey, Lurko, thank you so much. Candid demeanor. Yeah, that's a good way to describe me, isn't it? I appreciate that. Very descriptive. Toy Snowman. My distributor increased my allocation for Paldean and Fates Elite Trainer box, but I'm feeling... Your distributor already told you how many you're going to get? Who the hell is your distributor? Because I have no idea. Good for you. I don't think I find out how many I get for, like, quite a long time. Maybe I'm wrong, but... yeah, good for you. Shoot. I do not have that luxury. So far, we've been doing pre-orders, and it's been a huge success. I mean, we pre-sold a ton of them, so I just kind of guess how many I'm gonna get, and then I cut that in half just so I don't oversell. So, if I think, oh, I'll probably get 200 ETB, 500 ETBs, then I'll just put 200 on the site, And then when I do know my allocation, then I, you know, put more on there. So that's kind of my strategy. This guy bought a little special box to go with his shiny treasures. Give this box for the special box. Yeah, big ass box for these. How do you manage inventory before setting up Wix? I had Wix from the beginning, to be honest. That's just how I started the business. I use Excel for a ton of things though. I'm not a fancy guy. Like even for all my accounting and whatnot, like I don't have QuickBooks or anything like that. I don't even have a bookkeeper. I use Excel for like everything I do. So I guess if you want a useful answer, like I would use Excel. But yeah, I mean, I just had Wix from the get-go because they've been great to me. Okay, that can go over here. And if you guys are just getting here, all I'm doing is like pre-labeling shiny treasures. It comes in tomorrow morning. So if I print the shipping label now, I can just like, you know, just churn them out quickly. So this person ordered, who is this? Crystal from New Jersey ordered Detective Pikachu, Korean EV Heroes, and a shiny treasure box. Okay. I just kind of guess what the weight of this stuff's gonna be. Like, I kind of have all the weights memorized more or less. Pokeball Billionaires, I like the name. How did you feel about serial numbers being scratched off sealed cases? Japan corrects on resales. Do you think it'll affect sealed case prices? I don't think it will because that's like because they're all gonna be that way. You know, it's one of those things. It's like people will just accept it. Like, oh yeah, that's when Japan started crossing out the numbers. Like, I can't imagine like serial number not crossed out being like a premium, if you know what I mean. Like, I can't imagine that would draw more money. I think if it's a sealed case, it's a sealed case. But hey, I could be wrong. We don't really deal in sealed cases because it's so hard to get them, and Japan charges such a premium for them compared to just boxes. So I don't really F with it. It's a lot cheaper for like my suppliers to ship individual boxes because they can orient them in a lot more ways than big ass cases. So I'm not a great source for that, to be honest. John, I love this guy. He's so smart. Well, I try to pretend to be. Roger says hi, smiley face. Hi, Roger. Do you have a favorite Pokemon card? I have two answers to that, Andy. So my favorite card as far as like personal connection would be the Grand Prix Charizard from Japan. It's definitely probably no one else's favorite card. It's extremely underwhelming, but it's the first product we sold in the store, and it's kind of how we got started. We basically imported a bunch of these from Japan, and that's kind of what built the business, so to speak. So, you know, it's kind of like your first dollar in business. Like it's a big deal. So, yeah, I mean, I think my favorite card probably is the Grand Prix Charizard. Before the business, and before I had, like, a weird specific reason for having a favorite card, I just always liked the, sorry, I just had a stroke. I always liked the, like, the OG Vaporeon, just the Vaporeon Holo from the WotC era. I just always connected with that card. I don't even know why. Vaporeon's not my favorite Pokemon, but as a kid, I just thought that card was dope, and it's one of the few I kept even after my high school angst days of like, oh, Pokemon's lame, I'm selling it all. That was like one of the few cards I actually held on to. So there you go. Two. Okay. I'm gonna put this over here. Running out of room on my little table. What carrier do you use to ship? 99% of stuff USPS. Bigger orders, like larger, heavier orders, we do UPS just because it's a little bit cheaper for bigger, heavier orders. But USPS for like 99% of things. They do a good job too. There's not a lot of disasters that come to place. Poke Arts. Hey PokeNE, I have an e-shop in France. Thank you for the great advice. The amount of like people all over the world that are here, it's, I don't know why, because it's the internet and I shouldn't be surprised, but it's kind of shocking to me. For whatever reason, it must be the American in me. I was just like, oh, I just assumed most people would be from the States. But the fact that I have an audience in France and a lot of folks from the Netherlands, curiously enough, it's bananas to me, and I'm super stoked about it. So thank you guys. Thank you to my international audience, because I feel pretty cool. Oh, I need these bad boys. This right here, this is a great box. 6x6x2. You can fit 2 shiny treasures boxes in these suckers. Like perfectly. Or 2 V-Star Universe, but look how perfect that box is. Here, I'll show you. Here's a V-Star Universe. Perfection. I get these from Uline. They're like a buck a piece, roughly. Something like that. Love them. What else do we got? Thank you for all the questions, by the way. You're making this live stream unawkward. So I don't know what I'd be doing if I didn't have questions. Ask questions. What do you think of simplified Chinese cards, Lurko? I think they're looking extremely popular. I mean, people seem to love them. I think it's probably a great business idea. I have not met anyone from China that I really trust enough to wire money. I haven't really pursued it much, to be honest. Number one, because, you know, if you're looking at, you're going to find more fake products from China than any other country. No offense to China, it's just, you know, how it is. And so I was always pretty hesitant at jumping into that. I think you could probably tell a counterfeit pretty easily, but I'm less excited about it than I would be like Japan or Korea. I'm a little less excited about it personally. If I did find a supplier that I really trusted from mainland China, I'd probably go for it. But it's one of those things where at this point I've got American, Japanese, Korean. I sell Indonesian. Nobody cares, but I sell Indonesian. And it's like, we're doing well financially for sure, but a lot of money is tied up in inventory at any given time. And we need to have a lot of liquid capital to like make it to the next release. So diversity is important, but like at a certain point, I can't do it all. At least right now. Like we've only been around for 3 years, so until I have like an ass load of money just laying around, I do have to be a little more choosy with what I decide to provide my audience. But if you've got a plug in mainland China, like I think that's probably Money Machine Go Burr, personally. Do Japanese distributors force you to buy a Brad product? No, Andrea, they don't. It's Japan. Americans like me getting stuff from Japan, it's a lot less of an official process than you'd think. Basically, we buy from vendors who don't have any rules. Official Japanese distributors do not work with Americans. In fact, Pokemon Japan does not like the fact that their stuff ends up here in America, for good reason. So, no, I mean, there's really no infrastructure at all. There's no rules because technically the stuff shouldn't be here at all, so no. How much you saved up to start a website? A website's free, more or less. Like, I think Wix and Shopify, those are popular website builders. They're like, what, $30 a month? And then a domain costs like a few bucks a month. So none. I mean, you don't really need any money to start up a website, which is awesome. I love the current world. Is Lorcana storefront only? Oh, hold on, I skipped a question. Philip Moyes, how do you get sets like Shining Treasures basically by release date? Well, for one, my vendors have incredibly fast shipping times. They can overnight stuff, so, which is nutty. I don't know how much they pay for that. They don't charge me very much. I think they have I think they have a good relationship with like the post office in Japan. FedEx is who my people use. So they can literally overnight stuff here. So, I mean, if the set comes out on the 1st, and Japan's in the future, which is helpful. Like, you know, it's like time traveling. So here, on a Thursday, well, in Japan, it's already Friday, which is when a set releases. So on top of that, so they already have like 24 hours of, they're already like 24 hours ahead or whatever. They're already a whole day ahead of us. And then on top of that, they can one day ship it. So yeah, it makes sense. You know, if a set comes out the 1st, I'm going to have it by the 3rd easily, which is super, super nice for business. Is Lorcana storefront only? Yeah, Roger, Lorcana is storefront only. I've tried to get it before, and they're like, nope. I'm not a huge fan of Lorcana and what they're doing. I think it's very much artificial. I think they're kind of artificially making it scarce, artificial scarcity. I think people are excited about it, but I don't think nearly as many people are excited about it for the game compared to I can flip this for 20x my money. But yeah, I mean, online stores can't get it. So, you know, no money machine go burr for me. I know you made a video on how to find suppliers, but how do you know they're trustworthy? You don't. I mean, there's a few things to look for. So, like, number one, if they have, like, their dog and people and random memes, and that's all they have on their Instagram account, like, I probably wouldn't give them money. If their Instagram account is full of, like, bulk product, like they have cases lining the walls and, you know, piles of the booster boxes, like, obviously I get that any picture can be faked, but you can kind of tell if someone's like a legitimate storefront or not just by looking at the pictures. So that's like the first kind of thing I look for. Like, does this person have a ton of products? If so, they probably are legit. You kind of just get a vibe from them too. Once you DM them, if they seem to know about the products, that's a good sign. Like, kind of chat with them about the market, and if they seem to be like a fan of the product, or they make it clear they know what they're doing. We've all seen like rip and shippers who are from like the sports card market, and they're like, oh, it's red dragon Pokemon. You know what I mean? You can kind of tell if someone's actually in the business or not. A lot of it's vibes, but I certainly would not send money via wire transfer to someone if it's my first time doing business. I would definitely use like PayPal goods and services, and if everything goes well with that, maybe do it a couple more times, and then once you feel like, hey, this person's gonna treat me good, then maybe wire transfer money, because they'll give you a good discount if you do that. They don't want to pay those PayPal fees. But there's really no way to know. There's no like reviews. Like, there, you can't go to like freaking Google reviews and look up these Japanese suppliers. It's very much gut feeling, as stupid as that answer sounds. Brandon Lee, would you ever sell singles? Probably not. I mean, if like a promo card comes out, I always sell it. But as far as like just singles in general, probably not. I don't have the time to kind of constantly be researching that and keeping up with the market. Singles are so volatile, and there's like a gajillion of them. I mean, like Shiny Treasure, like the Japanese sets, there's what, 10 that we regularly sell. You know, between Raging Surf and Shining Treasures and the recent ones. So even if the market's pretty volatile, it's really easy to keep track. Singles, I mean, it's up and down and up and down, and then there's graded singles, and it's just so much. And then is it lightly played, or minty, or near mint? I'm sure I could make a ton of money doing it, but I just don't want to be honest. Pokeball Billionaires. My GF is from Shanghai, so she finds a distributor. Hey, that would be dope. Yeah. Yeah, if you got a plug in Shanghai who you're dating, that is the best kind of plug right there. Appreciate that. Lurko, you challenged me to think outside the box a bit. I purchased Simplified Chinese off eBay, sale of product, my treasure reaches. Yeah, I think that's a good strategy. Obviously eBay does not approve of that behavior, but don't hate the player, hate the game. If you can get their personal information, the seller, on eBay, I mean, that's a great way to vet someone. If they're selling on eBay as a business, they're probably not going to screw you off of eBay. Like they're probably going to be like, oh, cool, a new customer that I can make a lot of money on. My thing is, and this is hard to do when you're early on, but I think it's a good rule. If my whole thing is, if screwing me, let me repeat that. If treating me good is going to make them more money than screwing me, they're probably going to treat me good. So what I mean by that is, like, my supplier in Japan, like, I've probably done, say I made them $100,000 this year, just throwing a number out there. Well, so they made $100,000 off me being honest, like giving me what I buy. Why would they want to rip me off $20,000, if I transferred them 20 grand and they ran away? It wouldn't make sense. They make more off me being honest than lying. Obviously, if you're new, those numbers are going to be outrageous, but it's kind of a good way to just, like, I don't think people are necessarily good or bad. I think people do what is beneficial to them on the surface, at least for strangers. So I think that's kind of a good rule to live by, as sad as that sounds. What else do we got? Philip, for Korean cards, are Korean resellers able to get boxes cheaper than Korean MSRP? It sure does seem like it. Some of the Korean transactions I've done, I kind of look at them and I'm like, how the hell are you making money? So I think Korean is probably a lot like English cards, where the market must just be in a situation where cards are going for way below MSRP, and then I could sell them for not a ton of money and still make a lot of money. So I think maybe distributor prices are kind of the market prices in Korea. It seems like kind of a weird deal, but yeah, I think you're onto something. This is for Sal from Farmingdale, New York. Printing the label for Sal here. Paradox Rift and a shiny treasures box. Nice. Tape is coming off. Very dry in here. Give me 1 second, guys. Gotta get this label done. What else do we got? John, easy way to thwart any noob scammers. Ask them for a video time stamp with the product. Oh, that's an interesting strategy. Okay, look at John's comment there. Get video proof that they have the product. Yeah, good strategy. I've not used that myself. Poke Arts, we talked about One Piece a little earlier. It seems like English One Piece is huge right now. If you're like a business and you can get your hands on it, I think that is the way to go. As far as like investing, I'm always very nervous about telling people to like go all in on a product while it's hype. I mean, it makes a lot, like, it might seem like everyone's into it now, like, ooh, but this is when people overbuy, and then in a year, it's not cool anymore. Like, One Piece has a lot going on for it. The live action just came out. The anime's, like, got a whole new resurgence of fans. It's new and sexy and different. Will it be will the hype last? I would argue probably not. I think it's always going to be, it seems like it has a lot of good life in front of it for sure. Like, I don't think it's going to die. I don't think it's going to pull a MetaZoo. But it's one of those things. It's like, you know, if the people that run towards the fire, they get burned, and the people that run, dude, it's so late right now. You know, the stock market, if there's a fire and everyone's running away, you run towards it kind of thing. Right now, everyone's running towards One Piece, and it's like the folks that invested in the first edition Charizard back in the boom of Pokemon. It's like, well, yeah, I mean, of course the boom's gonna end, and then you're stuck with the first edition Charizard that like nobody really wants anymore, nobody cares about anymore. So I don't know. I wouldn't go heavy bags into it as like an investment personally. That was a really long-winded answer, but what are you gonna do? How much product do you rip for yourself? I'm a big fan of the Kendrick Lamar quote, I don't smoke crack, I just sell it. So not very much. You gotta kind of stay in control. I have a bit of well, before I was properly medicated, I had a bit of a shopping addiction. Like, straight up spent like $25,000 my first year of high school or college on just watches and shoes and TVs and guitars and blah, blah, blah. So I try to keep my personal spending to a minimum because that was a really scary part of my life. When I did rip and ships 3 days a week, I really got a lot of dopamine because I got to rip the cards and hold them in my hand. And even though they were going to a buyer, it was a good dopamine rush. And I want to go back to that because I miss it. And since then, temptation to go crazy has increased. And I actually did a stream quite recently. It was short. It was like 2-3 hours tops. And that's thanks to me having a couple part-time employees now that allow me to have a little bit of fun. So it's getting to the point where I'm a little bit tempted. I'm a little bit itching. But once you're around this product, you know, I work 80 hours a week. You do get desensitized. Like, if you're a huge fan of Pokemon or anything else, once you make it your business, it's not like you're sick of it. Like, you're not like, oh, screw this. But you get desensitized to the hype. And if you're a big fan of Pokemon now, I wouldn't necessarily recommend making it like, if you're doing a side hustle type thing, awesome. But once you start depending on it for like food and your mortgage, it does take the fun out of it. So that's kind of my warning to you guys. Toy Snowman, what percentage, if any, do you keep? A good chunk, for sure. Maybe 25% or more. Like Paradox Rift, for example, based on pre-orders and just kind of my own experience, I figured I'd sell $40,000 of Paradox Rift. So I ordered $65,000 from the distro, and I just kept what I didn't sell. So I try to keep like $20,000 of every English set. Japan, I kind of more churn and burn it. Like right now, I only have a certain amount of money where it's like I can't just hold on to all this stuff. You need to kind of keep moving as a business. You can't just hold on to inventory. But I'm getting enough capital now where I can do that more. Early on, people were like, oh, why are you selling, Fusion Strike? Like, you should hold on to that. It's like, well, I'm selling my Fusion Strike boxes at $100 because I don't have any money to buy the next set. Now I can kind of hold some stuff, but until I have like a freaking $1 million, oh my god, I just majorly failed at taping this. Until I have a ton of money, like a ton more than I have, you got to just keep inventory moving. And you got to be okay with it. Like, back when Evolving Skies reprinted like a year or so ago, I knew that that would be a good set to hold on to. Like, I knew that selling it for 130 bucks would be a stupid idea, but I needed the 130 bucks because I had to buy the set after that. Brilliant Star or whatever came out after that. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you gotta just accept what you can afford as a business. Luckily, I'm an online store, so I don't have like a lot of overhead. Physical LGS stores, like with all their overhead, they can't hold on to much at all, unless they're filthy rich, because they've just got so much to pay for. The market shifts up and down all the time. So, you know, if you guys are wondering why store owners don't just hold on to everything, it's because they got to churn and burn. Which is more profitable, sealed English boxes or sealed Japan boxes? I think no matter how I answered that, people would get pissed off at me because there's so many passionate people in this community. I think you just got to look at history. I mean, based on recent sets in the past 3 years, like, Japanese boxes have been a lot more profitable. I mean, look at freaking Dream League and all this. It's nutty, but English is easier to sell. I mean, it's more mainstream, so it's more liquid. You can liquidate it easier. I think having a mix of both is I know that's such a cop-out answer, but like, truthfully, a mix of both I think is a good idea, because right now the English market sucks. I mean, I'm buying the stuff at distro prices and selling it for $10 more than distro prices. So, but that's going to flip, you know, in a year, it's going to be completely different. And right now, Japan's kind of, you know, like Ancient Roar and Future Flash, their market price here is like 60 bucks. Where if these sets came out 6 months ago, the market price here would be 100. So stuff goes up and down. Pretending to know the answer, you're going to get yourself screwed. So diversify. Hold on one sec. Yeah, my personal opinion, I like Japanese better. But as far as like, is that the answer? No, I don't think it is. I think it's both. What else is happening in the chat? One Piece is a really healthy market right now with a player base, but proceed with caution. Bandai has a habit of... Yep, I agree with that, Andrea. Don't get high on your own supply, Scarface. Facts. If an American distributor asks me for a reference from a different distributor customer you have, how do I bypass that? I'm a new business. So, Philip, that actually came up with me when Peach State reached out to me, and I have Southern Hobby. I had Southern Hobby exclusively at the time. And I felt the same way. I was like, well, that's awkward. Like, that's like having a girlfriend and then asking your original girlfriend for reviews on the new one. It's kind of like, I feel like I was kind of cheating on my supplier. And I told Peach State that. I was like, yo, I feel kind of stupid, like, asking you to call my current girlfriend Southern Hobby. And they assured me that having more than one is very normal behavior. But regardless, I was like, yo, I just don't feel comfortable. Like, I feel like that's really awkward. And they were chill with it. I just said, I don't want to. I'm like, if you want me as a customer, I'm not doing it. And they totally understood. They had me send them some invoices just to prove that I actually buy from Southern Hobby a lot. And once they saw that, yep, this dude spends a lot of money. So if you spend a lot of money with a distro, you're probably a good vendor for the distro. They wouldn't give you a lot of stuff if you sucked as a vendor. So that was enough for them, and I avoided like an awkward interaction, or what I assumed would be an awkward interaction. So there's your answer for that. Ruler of the Black Flame. I've said it a couple times, but if you guys are just getting here, we're just like pre-labeling orders for tomorrow. A lot of my Shining Treasures comes in tomorrow, so I'm just kind of pre-labeling, and then I'm just gonna knock out the orders hopefully before like 12:30 noon. Oh, what else we got? Thank you guys all for being here, by the way. 62 people at freaking 1:40 in the morning is pretty nutty. King with coconut, PokeNE the goat, for real. Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate the views. PokeRTs and Excel spreadsheet management stock have come back to every day to update it. Do you have software to avoid stock management? Yeah, I mean, I use Wix. Oh, sorry, I did something stupid. I use Wix, so when a sale occurs, it automatically adjusts inventory. That's all. I mean, I don't have any specialized software other than that. There's pieces of software that, like, if you sell on Wix or Shopify and eBay and Facebook, there's software that like syncs them all. So if you sell 2 boxes here, it'll take 2 boxes away from here. They usually cost money, like $50 a month, maybe, if that. I guess I would do that if I was selling on multiple platforms. I've lowered my business to just sell on Wix only. I don't do Facebook or I do eBay globally to help my, international audience, but I don't really F with the whole multi-platform thing anymore. To me, it's confusing because even those software programs that do sync everything, sometimes they F up, and I don't like that. There's been too many disasters with like inventory not syncing, and unless you're on Excel every freaking 6 hours, depending on how much you sell, you're gonna F up, and it's gonna lead to problems. I personally hate multi-platform selling. That's probably a hot take, but I just want to support my own brand only, personally. Let me grab a Unagaba box quick. Be right back. And then we need a box like this. Shout out to Tara L from Cali. We got a Nagaba box and 2 Shining Treasures boxes. 74 people in the chat. That's straight nuts. Keep asking questions, guys. I think I've answered every single question in chat. It keeps the conversation moving and gives me something to do while I print labels for orders, because this is actually like a super boring job, to be honest. So yeah, keep firing away. So this guy needs this girl needs 2 Shiny Treasures boxes. What am I trying to do here? Oh, the screen froze. Hold up. How much does this sucker weigh? Probably weighs, about 2 pounds roughly. Okay, so that seems about right. Pre-labeling orders sucks, but tomorrow when I go to fulfill these orders, it's going to be so much better. What led to Pokemon your main TCG instead of something else like Magic? Avid Geek, I had a lot of TCGs I offered for a while. Pokemon I've always been a huge fan of, so that was kind of my first go-to because I knew all the Pokemon, and I don't know. I mean, I've always loved it, so... But I had Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Weiss Shorts, MetaZoo, a few other ones. And based on what sold or what didn't sell, I got rid of most of them. At this point, it's just Pokemon and One Piece are kind of our focus because people really like those. Magic, I just never had a source, and the whole Magic, that's worse than Pokemon as far as like MSRP goes. One Piece has been really good. That's a risk I'm glad I took. But and like Weiss Shorts has always been good, but lately it's been kind of crappy. So like I'm kind of lowering my position in Weiss Shorts right now. And I think ultimately when it's all said and done, my store is going to focus on Pokemon and One Piece exclusively. Unless something really crazy comes up, which I don't really see happening. You know, during the boom of TCG during COVID, there was always something new and sexy. And I think most of those, you know, ooh, something new and shiny. I think that's kind of over at this point. I mean, there was a bit where everyone and their mom was making their own TCG. And, like, while I admire the creativity behind that, I just think 99% of those were destined to fail. And they did. And at this point, I make enough business. I do enough business with Pokemon that I just don't really see I just don't really see a worthwhile return diversifying more. You know, Pokemon and One Piece, I feel like those have like good longevity. And it's just not worth the risk diversifying more than that. I'd rather just go out of business. Like, if Pokemon dies, like, I'll just retire. Because I wouldn't want to do this if it wasn't Pokemon, personally. Will you be doing Excel vid? I think I missed a couple questions. Hold on. John, thank God my girlfriend can't ask my exes for review. Yeah, see? Vera, love from Singapore. Hey, thank you, Vera. I appreciate you. Currently working on new homes so I can move in and start a TCG business. I appreciate the content. Yo, that's what's up, Fabian. Thank you so much. Good luck. We built a house for Pokemon. So I needed a big basement. So it's fun. It's fun. It's also a lot of freaking work, but that's what I like about it. So we are fulfilling, yeah, we're still on wave 2, wave 3 right now. Which is great. We're running ahead of schedule, so this is good. This is, we're doing shiny treasures labels right now. What do we got here? Baptiste. 8 a.m. here. Damn. Support from France. I love it. France. France is watching me. Thank you for being here. It's 2 a.m. here, so there you go. Jeremiah, love your videos. My girl and I plan on selling Pokemon products. We'll see though. Yo, that's awesome. Jeremiah, good luck. Thanks for watching. Long do you plan on selling single graded card? No, I mentioned earlier, it's just way too complex. There's just so much variance in singles. You got to watch the market way harder than the sealed product. The lightly played, near mint, all that. I'm not smart enough to do that. I don't mess with it. Never will. Except for, like, promo cards. I mess with the promo cards. Alright, so we need Ruler of the Black Flame, Paradigm Trigger, and 2 shiny treasures. Okay, these boxes here are free from USPS, by the way. Just type in USPS free shipping. Free shipping product. And this is a 7 by 7 by 6 inch priority mail box. Fits 4 booster boxes perfectly. So we need Ruler of the Black Flame and Paradigm Trigger. I'll be right back. Awesome. And that's... So just about 2 pounds for this one. Keep firing away on the questions, guys. Let's keep keeping the video entertaining. We're creating value for a lot of people, so thank you guys if you have submitted a question. You're creating a lot of value for folks that are just chilling here. Let me do this real quick and I'll answer the next question. Fabian, will you be doing an Excel video on how to organize your spreadsheet? Or yeah, I think that's a good, easy video to do. Just get on a webcam and knock it out on there. That'd be easy. I'll add that to my list. I have a lot of ideas. I think my K-pop video is going to be really interesting to some people. That's my next one. I did a tax video the other day, which was, like, obviously a super boring topic. I think it created a lot of value. But, like, I realized taxes are not very interesting. But to counterbalance the boringness of taxes, I'm doing what we can learn from K-pop music on marketing our business. I think it's going to be a really good one. So if you're not subscribed or whatever, subscribe if you want to see a 30-year-old dude talk about K-pop music and its connections with Pokemon. I'm pretty excited about it. I think it'll be a really good video. We need another one of these suckers. Who is this? This is Aria. No, there's a piece of dust on my screen. Anna from Evans, Pennsylvania. Anna bought 2 Shiny Treasures boxes and 3 Raging Surf boxes. Thank you, Anna. I appreciate you. Let me go grab the 3 Raging Surf boxes quick. Okay, there's 3 Raging Surf. I'll bring us to just about 3 pounds here. 33010. Oh, what else do we got? The problem is, Philip says the problem is I don't have a first girlfriend distributor. I'm looking for the first one and ask. Haha. Okay, I understand the question now. You just say you don't have one. I did the same thing. Southern Hobby asked the same thing from me, and I was like, hey, you're my first ones. But here is a bunch. I showed them a bunch of reviews I had from customers. So a lot of you guys know that we did Japanese cards before English. And so I was able to rack up a ton of reviews from customers on Google and Facebook. So I showed that to Southern Hobby and was like, hey, I'm not some scrub. I actually like know how to run a business. So I would suggest that. And if you don't have reviews on your own website, maybe you have reviews on like TCG Player, eBay, I would, this guy's address isn't right. I would suggest going that route before you try to get a distributor, because if you don't have any prior business on any platform, you're not going to get one anyway. Add 2 Shiny Treasures. Addy. This is order 33010. Okay. Theodore Alston. Hardest thing is finding a distro without a storefront. No one can even take a call at Peach State. They don't care how much money we have, lol. Yeah, so funny you mentioned that. Peach State actually reached out to me the other day, about 3 weeks ago or so. And they do make exceptions. You know, they needed to see my sales numbers because they all ask for that. But they basically reached out to me because of my YouTube channel. I'm not even kidding. They saw, hey, this guy's active on YouTube. He's got a great following. He seems to be trustworthy and whatnot. So will making a YouTube channel get you a distro? Not necessarily, but they do make exceptions. And ironically enough, Peach State was one of those. So I don't know. I guess I'm lucky. If you could start all over again from scratch, what would you do differently? Mateo, I actually have a video on that. How I would start a Pokemon business in 2023. So watch that video. It's maybe a month old. No more than a month ago I made that video. What would I do differently? Not a whole lot. It's if anything, it's easier. Like right now, Japan's kind of in a mode of the stuff's a lot cheaper than it was. We're kind of back to the cheap Japan stuff. We had like a time where a new set would come out and it was like $150 out the gate, like Clay Burst and Triplet Beat. We're finally over that. Now the newest sets are like $60 market price. So it's a great time to do Japanese. So I would do that the same. What would I do differently? I would not diversify so much so early. I lost a lot of money trying out like Attack on Titan and weird white short sets and all these other things. I would stay focused on like 1 or 2 things at the most and just see how those go for a while. What else would I do? I wouldn't be distracted by shiny objects. So for a while I was like, and I shouldn't say, I mean, hindsight's 2020. Trying out different things helped me a lot in the long term. But, you know, I explored this app sort of like Network or Drip and whatnot. It's called Network, and it's like a sales app. I had stuff on Facebook Marketplace and eBay. I would just focus on my own brand only and just do that. But to be honest, through luck or skill or intelligence, whatever you want to call it, I did it pretty well. I mean, I did a good job. Probably because I had 10 businesses before this one, and I've effed up so many times that like this one I did quite well the first time. So I would focus more on content for sure, because this YouTube channel, I've had a YouTube channel for a while. This YouTube channel really blew up quickly since I started focusing on quality and value. For the past 2 years, I've been posting on it here and there, just kind of repurposing content from Instagram, just like no thumbnail, no polish, nothing. If I were to start a business today, I would be on YouTube from the get-go, creating value while also marketing my brand, because I think if I would have been big on you, if I would have been this big, like 10,000 subs, not huge, I'm not famous, but having 10,000 subs from the beginning in a business, I think that would have been instrumental. I think I'd be way bigger than I am now. So that's something I would have changed. What's your eBay? I'm international. It's PokeNE TCG. The link is on my website. I think it's on the top banner. It's just go to PokeNE.com. It's on the banner. This stuff's too expensive. I'll warn you. eBay charges 13%. So I had to I think I raised my prices 10% and just took a 3% L. I didn't want to raise my prices 13% because it's already stupid. So you'll save money buying from other sellers on eBay. There's Japanese people on eBay that can sell to you directly, and you'll probably save money going to them instead of me. So like, I don't recommend buying from me unless you really want to support the brand and you really want to guarantee you're going to get legit product, because you know, like, and trust me. But the eBay store is not great, I'll be honest with you. Low life 2199. What are some little overlooked pet peeves? Pet peeves that I have? I don't have a lot of insignificant pet peeves. I'm pretty easygoing. Some things that bother me would be like arrogance and audacity. Like some people, they'll message me, hey, I love the content. Give me your supplier's name, address, phone number, and blood type. And I'm like, you know, I put out 50 videos on how to find one and blah, blah, blah. You got to do some work by yourself. And then they'll give me some pissy, mad answer. And I'm like, call the Coca-Cola company, ask for their secret recipe, see how that gets you. So stuff like that, it's just audacity. I really can't stand, if we're talking about pet peeves, a lot of content creators they don't put their money where their mouth is, or they act like something they're not. You know, I talk about business in the Pokemon world because I've created a good business in the Pokemon world. There are a lot of people who, they like to teach without doing first. There was one guy a while ago, he was, this was like a year and a half or 2 years ago. He was allegedly this really successful like marketing firm owner. And I was like, okay. And he kind of strung me along for a while. I'm sure he's a nice guy. But his whole thing was like he could blow me up. It was a big marketing. And I looked at his Instagram and he had like 1,200 followers. Which, no hate, by the way. Like, I'm not one of those people like, oh, you only have 1,200 followers, you're a no. But if you're someone that's claiming they can blow someone up with online marketing, you should have more followers than me. And it was like, he just had this. There's a lot of people like that in this industry. They like to teach before they do. There's the old saying, like, those who can't do teach. That's not referring to like my wife's a teacher. Not referring to, it's not hate on teachers. It's hate on like gurus who they can't do it themselves, so they make a course. I don't know if that's a pet peeve. To me, that's more of a that's higher up in the hierarchy of things that make me mad. But that'd be as good of an answer as I can give you. What do we got? Love your content, by for the best out there. Zev Gray. Thank you. I try not to gatekeep. I appreciate you watching. Theodore, thank you so much for your blatant honesty. No one does it like you, brother. Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching. I'm trying my best over here, y'all. The Card Vault, your channel's really been informative, and I love how straightforward you are. Thank you. I appreciate that, Card Vault. Baptiste, our guy from France here. Is there advantage to using Wix over Shopify? So Shopify, I've said this a gajillion times, and you don't know, obviously, but there's a lot of people who I've said this to that they do it anyway, and then they come crawling back and go, oh, you were right. So let me explain this to you real specifically. Shopify will shut your store down if you cannot provide an invoice from the official distributor that you're licensed to sell Pokemon cards. No one believes me when I say that. They think that that I'm in bed with Wix, like I'm like a sponsor of Wix. I'm not a sponsor of Wix. I don't care if you use Wix. I don't get money from it. I'm just saying Shopify, this happened to me. This happened to everyone else I talk to. If you sell Pokemon cards, it's a protected IP. That means intellectual property. And Shopify will shut your store down without warning until you provide them an invoice. And they can legally actually hold on to your money until you prove that you're selling legitimate product. It's a disaster. Wix, for whatever reason, doesn't do that. I don't know why. I don't know if Pokemon and Wix didn't get in a fight, maybe. I have no idea. But Wix has not done that to anyone I'm aware of, so that's the advantage. Shopify is sexier. The websites look better. I think the user interface is, I think the back end is stronger, but there you go. Yep, Theodore. I think the slabs and the singles are just too much work. AZ, do you know Bandai is doing more? I haven't heard. I heard Bandai basically likes to oversaturate things when they're successful. That's a rumor I've heard. Since there's only like one distributor that sells Bandai stuff, and I'm not in that, like I can't get One Piece English, I really can't speak to it. I see a reality that exists where they way overdo it and ruin the whole thing. I see that reality existing, but I can't speak on it really. Andrea, people only care about taxes until the IRS comes knocking on their door, lol. Haha, yeah they do. Me included back in the day. Nemra, congrats on the Pokemon Classics shout out. Well deserved. The Pokemon Classics shout out. What is that? Like the YouTube channel? I'm not familiar with this. Pokemon Classics shout out. Is that a YouTuber I follow? Pokemon Classics? Is that the guy? Is that like the cool guy with the glasses? I don't know. People shouted me out. I don't get a lot of shout outs without knowing about it. 12,000 subscribers. I'll have to watch that video. Tell me what video to watch. I'll give him a thank you. Andrea spoke to a TCG store owner earlier today. It seems like Bandai is done printing Romance Dawn. All right, I hope that's the case, because Romance Dawn is hype as hell and it'll be good for investors. Mateo, literally the same day Brian mentioned in this video, I got the email. Ha, that's awesome. I like all your tips. Top Collector, thank you very much. What do you think about cards in the Thai language? It seems like Thai, Indonesian, Spanish, it's a little bit too niche. They're really cheap, but people don't seem to care. I tried out Indonesian, and I feel like Thai is very similar, where it's like people just don't care enough. I mean, if you found the right audience, sure. In my head, I'm like, well, you can get an Indonesian booster box for only $50. I thought people would come running, but for my audience, if it's Japanese, Korean, or English, you're in the clear. Anything else, it's cool if like your thing is we sell foreign cards, but you got to find the right audience, and I have not found the right audience for that. So I wouldn't recommend it if you want a concrete answer. Thank you so much. I have a ton of reviews. Nice. Philip, good to hear. I hope they never reprint Romance Dawn. I got a box of half Yeah, it sounds like you're in the clear, Cameron. So hopefully that's correct. Low Life 21.99. Thanks for upfront honesty in the eBay overcharge. I feel like not many people would call themselves out. Yeah, the eBay thing is nuts. I wouldn't recommend buying from me on eBay. If you really dig me, great. But if you're gonna buy on eBay, find someone trustworthy, you know. But my prices aren't great. Just being real. Toy Snowman, what do you do with processing fee when someone cancels a pre-order? So for the longest time, I just ate it. But I got to a point where 3% of like a $1,000 order is a lot of money. It's like 30 bucks. So now I charge a 3% cancellation fee. And I looked around and I always thought that was like harsh, but all my competitors do that. And I always thought, I'm like, there ain't no way that works. But all of the kind of the online LGS is what I'd call myself. They all do it. So I'm like, F it, I'm going to do it. And, I don't know. I haven't had anyone try to cancel an order yet, so I guess good. But I ate it for the past 2.5 years, and I started getting mad, so I changed that. Hopefully I don't get too much hate from it. Vivian, what do you do for tax/customs and Japanese box imports like this? So if I buy a bunch of Japanese booster boxes, from what I understand, and I'm not an expert on this, you could argue I should be, but like, I don't ship from Japan, so I guess I don't care. My people basically just box it up in a way where the value of the parcel is under the limit of where import fees kick in. So if import fees are like, oh, a parcel is $2,000 or more, they just only put, 15 booster boxes in a parcel and ship them in multiple parcels. That's what I understand. I'm not an expert on that though, so I'm not going to pretend to be, but yeah, there's a reason they send me like 50 gajillion boxes. Siski, I'm a Shopify seller. I messaged them and told them I'm a reseller, and they cleared that. Yeah, it probably depends on who you're talking to at Shopify. I've heard only nightmare stories. I actually tried to switch to Shopify myself. Before I had an English distro, I was a Japanese seller only. And Wix, I just thought Shopify was sexier. So I switched to them for like 2 weeks, and then they kicked me, and so I moved my domain to go back to the Wix site. So me personally, I got effed by Shopify, and I know a lot of people who have emailed me also did. But yeah, I'm sure there's exceptions. So I'm glad you're one of the lucky ones. Like I wish you the best of luck. Mason, what's up? Mason from Cardinal Gaming. Great YouTube channel, guys. Check out Mason's. You guys probably already watch him, Cardinal Gaming. One of my YouTube channels I watch regularly. My man got props coming from all directions. He can't even keep track. Facts. If I am allowed to post a link, I could. Oh, true. Just tell me the name of it, Nemra. Pokemon Closet product comes through deck. Yeah, facts. Classic collections. Yeah, I only got freaking 17 of those. And I guess I was lucky. Like, I guess the Pokemon Classic box, a lot of people got like 3 or 10 at the most. I got 17, and I'm complaining, but I guess I was lucky. So yeah, they were gone in about 2 minutes. And I can't get more. They're not reprinting them, I guess. I don't know. They're not worth very much on eBay. Not to hype. I mean, I'm not hyping a set because I don't even have the set, but I'm surprised it's not going for more money than it is, because like I can't get more. I can't imagine a lot of other people are getting more. So is that a good investment? I don't know, but I'm surprised it's not going for more money, the classic collection. Do you think the PokeTuber scene is saturated? Zeno, I don't think so. I mean, Pokemon's the largest franchise in history as far as gross revenue. So it makes sense there'd be a lot of PokeTubers because it's massive. I think it's oversaturated with BS. I think there's a lot of folks that talk the talk but don't walk the walk. Is that the expression? And I've talked about that earlier. There's a lot of people who they cannot do, so they teach. Those who can't do, teach. I think it's saturated by BS. but I think there's a ton of space for creators in the Pokemon world. For a while, like the whole, you know, going to the store and ripping open packs, that was oversaturated. As far as like, it was hard to get big doing that. But if you're creative, like my niche is, hey, here's how to start a Pokemon card business. I don't really mess with the hunts. I don't like go to Target and hunt for products. So as far as like that particular niche, yeah, that might be oversaturated. But Pokemon in general, there's a gajillion ways to talk about Pokemon, a subject you love, and get big doing it. So if you're creative, no, not saturated. Can't you get a legit invoice from the English distributor, though, to release money from Shopify? Philip, yeah, absolutely you can. Absolutely you can. So I'm good now. I've got an English distributor, Southern Hobby, and Peach State. So yeah, I'd be good on Shopify now. They just pissed me off, so I'm sticking with Wix. What I'm telling people who are in this chat who are probably like new business owners and don't have official distros, don't mess with Shopify, because if you don't have an official distro, you'll get effed. But yeah, absolutely. If you have an official distributor, you're good. You just got to send them an invoice. Thanks for your time and sharing. Vivian, thank you for your view. Appreciate it. Yeah, John, the English Classic Collection's already at... I don't understand that. I mean, supply and demand, I don't... There's not a lot of supply, as far as I can tell. Again, I'm not trying to overhype the set. I don't have them, so there's no sense for me hyping it. I'm just confused because based on the store owners I've talked to, nobody got more than 10. So I don't know where all the inventory is coming from. Maybe just it's expensive. Like the MSRP was outrageous, so maybe people are just pissed off and not buying it. Like Magic 30, for example. I don't know. I think it's weird. Big news for Pokemon collectors, investors, and fans. Market update. Huh. I'll have to watch that. Oh, this new one. Is it just me? Yeah, the guy with the glasses. I like him. The Pokemon Classics guy. I'll watch the video. Thanks, Nemra. I appreciate you. Dino, thanks for the answer from Canada. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Thanks for being here. John, I have that video open, Nemra, but haven't seen it. What did he say about the Classic? I think he said... His name is Pokemon Classic. I think he shouted me out, is what Nemra said. I forgot the context of the chat. I think she said... He or she said, the Pokemon Classic guy shouted me out, so... If that's the case, I appreciate that. I'll give him a thank you in his chat, or his comments. I usually just listen to the videos you put out while I'm doing other things, so I never notice you're pretty jacked. Low life, that's a hilarious chat. I appreciate that. Yeah, I kind of designed my videos to be like consumed like a podcast. That was kind of my... I'm gonna lower this actually. I'm tired of doing orders, so I'm just gonna sit. Oh, I need this. Yeah, I kind of try to design my videos to like be treated like a podcast, especially because like I can write a script I talk too much. I ramble a lot. So the videos where I'm just like video recording myself working and then reading a script, that works really well for me. So yeah, I mean, there's not much to look at. It's just me working. But thank you. I appreciate it. The arms come from all the box rips. Yep, all the rip and ships. No, I don't do anything fancy. I used to do like 200 push-ups a day. Now I do 100 pull-ups a day. Nothing wild. I mean, just 10 sets of 10 as best as I can. I don't really have a very official routine. I go to the gym and I just do whatever speaks to me. A lot of people are like, oh, it's biceps and tricep, whatever. I don't do anything. My wife goes into a class and they're all official. I go in, if I want to do tricep pull downs, I do those. If the ab machine looks enticing, I do that. I should be a lot more efficient with my time at the gym, but I just don't care. At this point, I'm at a position where I look good to myself, and I'm just trying to stay there. I'm not trying to get bigger or swole. Like, I did some stuff. I feel good about it. I'm just going to keep doing it. My dogs are up. I might have to let the doggos out. Fundamentals never fail for workouts. I think my wife's up. My dog, it's 2 in the morning. My doggos get kind of feisty at 2 a.m. It's playtime at 2 in the morning, so I might need to go upstairs and play with them soon. They're kind of on my schedule, our girls. Yeah. Would you do a home gym? Hi, I'm V. Someone asked that question earlier today, actually. Apparently my arms are a big subject of... I had to raise my seat. No, I was saying I don't have the discipline to work out at home. I have a pull-up bar, actually, hanging from the rafters. I don't have the discipline for that. I need to, like, physically leave my house and, like, be in the environment to work out. And I only do that because my wife goes regularly. She's a lot more disciplined than me. She's a teacher. Teachers are disciplined. So she goes, so I go, kind of thing. I basically told her to tell me to go. I'm like, you are my boss. You tell me to go, I will go. So the home gym thing, it just never worked out for me. I had one at one time at my old house. Not to mention, I don't know where the hell I would put it. There's no room down here. I know you don't like in-person vending, but have you been tempted to do the bigger cons, Collecticon or Card Party? I go to a lot of Collecticons. Last year I went to like all of them. This year I went to a couple. I like the vibe for sure, but I wouldn't want to be stuck behind a counter vending. I like walking around, and that way you can talk to all the people. I personally, and this is going to be a hot take, I don't see any money in those conventions. I think if you have singles or like slabs, maybe vintage, obviously there's good money there. But as far as like sealed collecting, for some reference, and this isn't like a flex, it's just true, I vended at a little anime convention here in the Nebraska area. It was in Council Bluffs, Iowa. And I sold more stuff just packing my stuff up and driving an hour than I did at the convention. Like, because, you know, and at the convention, it was an anime convention, so it wasn't like trading cards specific. But at the convention, I think we did 4,000 in sales over 2 afternoons. And like, between me waking up, packing my car, and driving to Council Bluffs, I did 4,000 sales. Because we'll sell between, 8 and a new release will do closer to 15K. But on just a normal everyday day, between 8 and 12. So by the time noon hits, I basically hit that gross anyway. And like, I have a Mazda, so it's not a very big car. So like, just Tetrising it all in, bringing it all out, the risk of theft. I'm a pretty introverted guy. It's just not for me. The Collecticons are fun though. I like to walk around there and just say hi to people. There's always like, I call it like the cool kids club. There's always like, hey, we're all gonna go here, or there's a pre-party here. I don't really do any of that. I'm really awkward, to be honest. I just kind of walk around, then I go to my hotel. I always make sure I'm close to a cheesecake factory. Like, even if I have to get a hotel several miles from the Collecticon, I make sure it's within walking distance of the cheesecake factory, because what I do, it sounds like I'm joking, but this is like real life me. I go to the cheesecake factory and I get a slice, and then I get a second slice and I bring it to my hotel, and I sit in a bathrobe and eat cheesecake watching anime. And I do that both days at Collecticon. So I have 4 pieces of cheesecake at any given trip. I might be ripped up, but never skip dessert. It's Alex Hermosi. And that's what I do after the convention. I don't go to any events or parties or after I go to the convention for like 6 hours. I have my cheesecake date with myself. I fly home. Card Party looks interesting. I think this year Card Party took place during a new release of a set. So I didn't go because I was like busy and I didn't have any employees yet. So I would have been effed. But yeah, I think I might try to go next year. It looks fun. Speaking about gym, which Pokemon can bench press the most in your mind? That's a good question, Toy Snowman. Which Pokemon could bench press the most? I mean, probably Machamp, honestly. I mean, he's got huge-ass biceps. He's got 4 arms. I feel like that's a pretty, like, obvious answer, though, so let me try to think of a more creative one. I mean, you could just argue basically any psychic type, like Alakazam, you know, he just lift it with his mind. So depending on how strong of a brain he had, you could argue that would be probably the strongest. Like Machamp versus like a really strong psychic type, that would be an interesting battle of bench pressing. I'd really like to see like Ice-Q just crush it though. Ice-Q is one of my favorite Pokemon. That's definitely like not a popular opinion, but I love him. I would love to see him just knock out like triple plates with his little penguin flippers. I'd really love that. Zeno, you are like the 3rd person to ask this. People really want me to sell singles. I will never sell singles other than like promo cards that release here and there. It's just it's too much to keep track of for me. Sealed products just super easy. It's got a barcode. They come out at a scheduled time. It works for me. Maybe one day I'll sell singles. If I start selling singles, I'm down bad. Like I'm like, oh shit, business is bad. I need to do something new. So probably not. He does a top 5 of the best Pokemon videos and got him on the list. I thought, oh, hey, that's what's up. Nemra, thank you again for letting me know. Hi, I'm V. Top 3 favorite anime. My favorite anime are going to be really controversial because I'm not really an anime guy. I kind of got into it through this environment. A lot of people are like, Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan. Like, what do I watch? I really like Rent a Girlfriend. I like the really chill anime. Like, 'cause my life's really stressful. Like, that's not true. I have a very simple life. I have a lot of stress all the time. I think a lot of it's just all the money that's always going in and out and, like, wire transfer. Like, I have a very good life, very comfortable. So, put that out there. Very privileged here. But, like, through the bipolar disorder and just me being a business owner, I have a lot of anxiety. So like my favorite anime are like Rent a Girlfriend. I love that series because it's not about anything. There's no real conflict. It's about nothing. There was one I really liked. What was it called? The premise is it's like 4 girls that take a trip to Antarctica. That was the whole show, and there was like nothing happened. And then there was Hands Off My Izoken, and it was like 3 girls who, it's an anime about girls who are making an anime. And again, it's just like nothing really happens. Like I liked Sword Art Online, and I watched My Hero Academia. Like I watched all the you know, basic anime starter pack animes, and I liked all of those. I didn't get through all of them, but like a couple seasons of everything. There was one, what was it? Can't think of the name of that one. I have not been blessed with the time to watch anime for a little bit, probably 8 months or so since I've been able to like sit down and watch TV. If I do have any free time, I'm with I've got a core group of friends. I'm just gonna age. I'm 30 years old, which I feel a lot younger than that, but I'm 30. So I've got friends from when I was 10. And if I have any free time at all, I'm either with my wife and my dogs, or I'm with those friends that I've had for 20 years. So anime comes once in a while, but until my staff, my part-time staff that I just hired, until they're self-sufficient, I just won't really have the blessing of watching anime. I've been watching the McDonald's Monopoly docu-series on HBO Max. I've been watching that lately. That's been interesting, but I don't watch a lot of TV. Mason Berry, dude, eating cheesecake and anime, man. My chat must be so, like, laggy. But, yeah, Mason, cheesecake and anime, that's, like, all I really, like, everyone's like, oh, what are you going to do when you sell the business and retire and you have all this money? Probably nothing. Probably just anime and cheesecake. I'm not even kidding. Like, if my friends of 20 years, going to the gym, that's free. My friends and I just play Super Smash Bros. And go to dinners. Like, if I could just go to the gym, eat cheesecake, play some video games, and watch TV, that's all I really need. I'll keep my Mazda. I love my Mazda. It's like, I think it's like $13,000 on Kelly's Blue Book. I would never trade that for another car. Cheesecake and anime, that's all you need to be happy. Are you planning any more holiday sales? So we put the 151 UPC up for 90, it's like 89.77. I thought it was a creative price. So the UPC's on sale. I think we're the cheapest on the internet, 89.77. So that's on the homepage right now. Shiny Treasures, Wave 5, it ships in about a week. That's down to 89.99. But yeah, we'll have some real holiday sales probably next week, once we get closer to Christmas. And we'll definitely do something like, we'll definitely do a big sale like the last weekend before Christmas, just for the last minute shoppers. I just kind of make this up as I go, TBH. Buzzswole, yeah, Buzzswole would bench a shit ton, that's fair. That'd be a good one. I kind of forget about the Ultra Beasts a lot. Snorlax, if he wasn't so lazy, he's a big boy, he probably could. What do you think is a good margin to start selling Japanese booster boxes? I found some distributors. Japanese booster boxes, if you can regularly get inventory, like Shiny Treasures, if I need 200 more, I can hit up my person on Instagram and get 200 more. So if you have a regular supply, what's the point of making a ton of money on it? Because you can just get more. So with a regular steady supply, 15%. Because why not? If it's something like the Japanese classic box, or like an older set like Space Juggler or something, 18 to 22%. But with new sets, I just like to pump them and pump them and churn and burn is the words I use. Ever thought about selling Switch Pokemon games? I don't have access to like any special pricing on Switch games. Nobody, like Southern Hobby and these distributors, they only do trading cards. So no, probably not. Hi, I'm V. Yeah, the slice of life genre. I think there's some slice of life anime that like I consider a little cringy. I don't want to offend anyone, but I try to do the less cringy ones by my definition. It's very subjective. But yeah, I like anime that's not about anything. I don't know. Again, life's so stressful already. I just want to sit and, like, my wife watches Friends, which to me is like the slice of life of IRL TV. She's watched Friends like 18 times start to finish, but it's always on our TV. Because she's like, I just like it as background. It's comforting. Like, I get that. A place further than the universe is a good one. Is that what it is? I think, yeah, that sounds right. Kind Wonder, agreed. 100%. The best shows to watch are the ones you can multitask. That's what she says, Andrea. My wife's name is Andrea. Are you my wife just trolling me? No, probably not. Andrea's sleeping. Yeah, my wife's named Andrea, and she watches Friends and The Big Bang Theory. Just stuff to work on, school stuff with. She's a teacher. Simple little kids, but with adult money. That's all my customers, John. My average demographic is 25 to 37. So, kids with money. What box sizes do you use the most? Gecko, what's up, Gecko? How you doing? The 662 box, for sure. It holds a Japanese booster box perfectly. The 664 box holds 2 Japanese booster boxes or an English booster box, or 4 of like these type of booster boxes. So the 664 is a wonderful box. I love boxes. And then the free USPS priority mail box, the 7x7x6, we use quite frequently. Because it's free and it's priority mail, and we use it. It holds 4 booster boxes, or 8 high-class boxes, or 4 Korean boxes. It's a great box. I'm such a nerd. If a product you bought wasn't moving as fast and the price tanks... Doof Senpai, it's a really good question. I try not to over leverage on any product, even if that means giving up some potential profits. Like there's some things if I would have over leveraged on them, like V-Star Universe, if I would have bought way more than I did, they went up, I would have made a lot of money. But if they crashed, I would have lost a lot of money. So I try never to have more than 100 of one set at a time. And again, sometimes that helps and sometimes that hurts me. So now that's never a problem. I'm pretty experienced at not effing myself, but in the past, yeah, I would take a small loss on things. Never more than a couple bucks. Nothing's ever crashed that badly. But I would take a small loss on things, maybe $2 a box, just to build capital again. There are things right now that are worth less than I bought them for, mainly like Y short sets, stuff like that, where I don't need capital, so I'm just going to sit on them, hoping they go up in value. And if they don't, and I need capital, I'll sell them. And if they do, great, I'll pretend that was a good investment decision. Hi, I'm V. People have been asking me that. One Piece English they have an exclusive with like one particular distributor that I don't have access to. So until they expand, no. But I want to though. One Piece English is huge, so I'd make a lot of money doing that. Lol, no. Yep, it sounds like you two have a lot in common. Agreed. Got Elton Sodenberg. What's up, Elton? How you doing? Yeah, so English boxes, yeah, 78 sounds about right. Nowadays, they're like 95. There are some like overstock ones, like Scarlet Violet base, that I can get for like 92. But yeah, warehouse prices have gone up quite a bit. John, isn't the cheapest priority flat rate box? Yeah, so flat rate, 14 bucks might be right. I don't do flat rate. I do priority mail. So there's flat rate mail and priority mail. These boxes are free, and then you pay priority mail. So depending on the zip code, this is like 10 to 11 bucks to ship from Omaha, Nebraska. But yeah, there's a difference. They look similar, but there is a difference. Any tips for finding a Japanese distro? You mentioned IG. How would you pitch them? I have a couple videos on that, Andrew. It's in the How to Start a Pokemon Business playlist. So definitely click on the channel and watch the playlist. The title should be obvious. You don't really have to pitch them because they want your money. It's a lot different than the English distributors who are choosy. Like a Japanese distributor is just basically a vendor or a dude that has access to the product. They don't really care about your sales records. If you offer them, if you buy a lot of stuff from them, they'll give you discounts. So it's not really a pitch as much as, you know, you want to vet them. They don't really vet you. But yeah, Instagram's the only place I've ever found a distributor. Godzilla 2. Sorry, it's like 2 in the morning. My eyes are starting to like shut. Local here. When can I catch you at the mall, or is it just online now? Yo, what's up? Omaha, Nebraska local. How you doing? So I used to vend at Westroads Mall, as you may remember. It's on the Vice documentary. On Vice, it shows us vending there. Long story short, they kind of pissed me off, so I don't do Westroads Mall now. I know Oakview Mall has some vending things. I haven't had a chance to get to them. There was one I was going to go to, but it came out during like Paldea Evolved release, so I had to like stay home and do that. So for the most part, I'm online only. I just don't have the bandwidth to like go out and do physical events. Also, I mentioned earlier, I'm extremely awkward and introverted, which people would never guess because I'm this online personality. But I really like being at home. But, you know, you might see me at Village Point here and there, just walking around. Westo Fitness, it's where I go to work out. I don't really leave the house much, though, to be honest. Love from Sweden. Elton, I appreciate that. A lot of Swedes and, what am I trying to think of? I guess I'm tired now. Norway. A lot of Norwegians in my viewer base. I think it's interesting. Do you use Pirate Ship? Their shipping price is a lot cheaper. Pirate Ship's great. I don't like Pirate Ship's user interface very much. I use Shippo, which is basically the same thing. Shippo and Pirate Ship are both like very popular. I think their prices are pretty damn similar. The Netherlands. Netherlands are huge in my viewership. What are your thoughts on shiny treasures? Some people don't like it. There's a lot of folks that are complaining about it. We've sold 1,200 boxes now, so like I don't know if you guys can hear the pitter patter, but my dogs are sprinting around the kitchen upstairs. I'll probably go soon. They need to be played with. Wow, yeah, they're excited. Girls, come here. Hi, Rosie. Hi, sweetheart. Let me see you. Oh, you're cold. They must have just been outside. Hi. So my audience seems to really like shiny treasures. I think the argument that there's too much going on in the box, like that's valid. There's like a lot, and it feels kind of sloppily put together. Like it's not a very cohesive set. So I see that as a valid criticism. Do you allow orders for? So we're not international. I have a very diverse international audience, but we don't ship internationally. We have an eBay account now, PokeNE, TCG. Our prices suck though because eBay charges us 13%, so we have to raise our prices like 10%. And there's Japanese sellers directly on eBay that can beat our prices, so don't buy from my eBay account unless you like really love me, because you're not going to get a very good price. Do you do conventions? Yeah, I was saying the conventions, it's just not really for me. I'm a homebody, and it's just a lot of work for the little money it brings in. I was basically saying I sell more getting prepped for the convention and driving there than I do there. And it's not all about the money, but it's just a lot of work, and I'm quite lazy. Yeah, Gecko, it's a lot. We have a lot of protection, if you know what I mean. A lot of cameras. I'm always home. Good insurance. Like, we're pretty well set. I've got a lot of protection. We'll say that. eBay fees are criminal for small sellers. It's hard to make any profit. Yeah, eBay fees are rough. Even for me, who, you know, I'm pretty successful in the industry at this point, I still can't make it work for margins. I don't really know how people make a living on eBay personally, because like I'm getting this stuff at like the cheapest price out of anybody, and like I can barely make it work. So eBay is a conundrum to me. Will Japanese prices go back to 2022 when things were at retail? Mix, it's a good question. I think we're on our way there now. I mean, you look at Black Flame, Raging Surf, Ancient, Roar, Future Flash. All of those boxes are selling for like $58 to $65 US, which it's not MSRP, but it's a lot better than it was 6 months ago. So I think we're on our way there. We're kind of in a bull market now, or a bear market with Japanese boxes, in my opinion. There's still 151, V-Star Universe, Shiny Treasures. Those are still going to be big ones, but I see Shiny Treasures going down to like $85, maybe $80 within the next 2 weeks, personally. I think it'll go down a bit. So we're in a very affordable market for Japanese products compared to 4 to 6 months ago. But as far as 2022, like early, I don't know. I mean, I think this is about as good as it's gonna get. I think being able to buy the newest Japanese set at like $60, I don't think it's gonna get better than that personally. But I don't, you know, I hate pretending. I hate when people pretend to know these things. There's just no way to know. So I'm just giving you my opinion. Yeah, TBH. I gotta play with my doggos. My girls are running around upstairs. They're being crazy. It's 2:30 a.m.'s kind of playtime. I've got them on my schedule where I stay up all night, so they need to play with their toy sloth, and I might take them on a night walk. They like night walks a lot, even though it's like probably 20 degrees outside. So I'm gonna log off here, but thank you guys for being here. We've been streaming for like an hour and a half now, 2 hours ago. Yeah. Got a lot of people in the chat, so thank you guys for being here. Hopefully that was valuable for you. I'm gonna exit out of this. Yeah, thank you again. I will be uploading a new video soon. It's gonna be what we can learn from K-pop music and marketing our business. I think it's gonna be a really interesting, entertaining video. So hopefully you guys like it. We do have a whole playlist on how to start a Pokemon card business, so check that out. And until then, like, have a good night, everybody. Peace out. Or good morning for my international audience. How do you stop this? Oh, I gotta go here.